I hope everyone's having a fantastic, phenomenal 5th day of December 2021. And I am back for December with you guys. So I am really fired up for what I'm going to jump into today with you guys. I'm bringing something different. So first off, again, I just want to say thank you for joining us on this call. This is our product training on Sundays. I will be here for this Sunday and the next 2 Sundays, and I believe that following Sunday, or I guess that Christmas weekend, we're all going to be too busy with family and things like that. So I think we won't have one that weekend, but just want to let you know ahead of time what's in store for this month. Before I get into product training, what I would like to do is actually want to share something that it kind of resonated with me. I'm always in between our calls and life, and even times when I'm headed somewhere to the grocery store and things like that. I'll use it as my ACN university and my car university. So back in the day, of course, we had CDs, pop in a CD or a cassette tape, if you guys understand what I mean. So, but what I did, now we've gotten modern technology, so I just pop on YouTube. And what I did was I was just listening to a video, and I was like, you know what? I need to share this with you guys. So just wanted to share, because even today in Dallas, there was an overcast. It was a little gloomy, and it just kind of clicked to me as hearing this video is like, just share some of the notes I had. It's like, we see a storm and rain, and sometimes we think depression. We think, oh, I can't do anything. And instead of thinking, grass actually needs water to grow. Grass can't grow without it. Flowers and roses can't bloom without it. We just need to stop saying, in our business or in life, I should do something, or that, because it's really about our perspective, changing our perspective, our viewpoint and our advantage, our perspective. It's either an advantage or it's an assassin for us. So when we think about that rain, trying to think that differently, we should stop saying, we need to stop saying, I should do something, because that ideology, that philosophy, that mindset, it's going to get us and keep us bankrupt. We say, I should start this. I should stop this. I should forgive. I should send that text message to that customer. I should call that IBO in my downline, and just to check in, as Mr. Thomas says, I don't want anything. I just wanted to say hi. We say, I should speak to that coffee shop owner about my business. I should speak to the dry cleaner about my business. I should speak to my nail technician about, my business. But you know what? We don't. We've got to get rid of that should. And the reason why we do that is we aren't changing our perspective on things. So, you don't get what you should, you get what you must have. And everything rises and falls on your perspective. And that actually segues into today's training, because I know for myself, there was a time where I thought, I can't approach a business owner because they're not going to see me of value or things like that. Oh, I should say something to that person or something like that, but it was all about my perspective, and my perspective wasn't big enough. So one of the things I want to jump into is I want to get into some training on Sphere. So we're going to take it a whole nother level from our residential services. We're going to jump into some business services. So, and especially at a time like this in the season we're in, we're all out shopping. We're out doing things. We're seeing people. We're going to the different stores and restaurants and things like that. So what better time than to throw in an opportunity that also is something so easy for us to convert into a customer. So I'm going to go and get into details in a moment, but just want to show you what we're going to be talking about today. Again, I always want to throw this up here. Focus on 2 to 3 services that suit your marketplace. I'm going to hit this home every time. Focus on those, become more of, I say, an expert, understand 2 to 3 levels of questions, because it makes it so much easier when someone has a question to follow up or things like that. You can easily answer something. And of course, as always, always ask for the favor. Can't iterate that enough. Okay, now, why Sphere is my favorite. One of my top faves, for real. With Sphere, number one, commissionable revenue is 85%. 85%, and it's for the life of the customer. When we're talking about our services, this is big. This means more opportunity for you to earn on this service. There are also large bills. When you think about Sphere credit card, our payment processing is what this is, our payment processing. These bills are thousands, tens of thousands, sometimes even hundreds of thousands, can be hundreds of thousands of dollars. And we can actually earn percentages from those bills. So that's huge. And it's actually what is about perspective, why I began with perspective, because it actually is one of the easiest services we have to acquire customers. It is one of the easiest, and I'll get into some details about that. And again, it's about perspective. It's how you look at it. And the bonus here is we guarantee savings for the merchant. It's the only service we have where we can say that we guarantee savings. And that's huge. When you're talking to that business owner, they're thinking about their bottom line, right? They're always thinking about their bottom line. How do I reduce my? You can say, you walk in there to that business owner and say, I'm guaranteeing you savings. Why not take the 5 minutes, to at least check out and see if it's going to be a great partnership between you and I. Why not just take those 5 minutes? So again, one of the key things here for me is it's large bills. It's big business we're talking about. Credit card processing, payment processing is a multi-billion with a B dollar industry. And we have the ability to be a part of that. It's huge. So, and these bills, we're getting percentages off of these thousands of dollars of bills. I mean, think about it. When was the last time you swiped your credit card? Probably happened today, right? I mean, for myself, I swiped it about 3 times today, yesterday 4 times, going to the restaurant, getting gas, things like this. So you think about it, it's always a great service to think about. Now, I want to make it simple. Again, I want to make this as simple, super simple as possible for us and also for that customer, our team. And again, as always, I say, feel free to take screenshots. There's going to be a lot of information that I want to share, but and you can always go back, make sure you have the ability also, once this is posted, the amazing Mr. Jabri Clemens. Well, let me just stop and say thank you, sir. Thank you again for everything you do. Got to give it back to you because, man, you have really created such an opportunity for us to go back and view this, take notes, see these trainings again. So thank you for the time you put into everything you do. And I'm actually just allowing Mr. Al Thomas into the room. Okay, Mr. Thomas is here. Woo! All right, fired up now. So again, thank you, Mr. Clemens, for everything you do. All right, now jumping back into it. So what is merchant and credit card processing? Well, merchant processing enables a business to accept a transaction payment through a secure channel using the customer's credit card, debit card, or NFC RFID enabled device. So that's basically now you can use your cell phone and tap it, onto the processor. So just want to start off, make sure we're all on the same page. That's what we're talking about today. Now, what where do we find these types of customers? Hey, Mr. Thomas. Looks like, are you on an airplane right now, sir? Oh man, thank you for joining, sir. Thank you. Okay, back into it. So where do we find leads for our sphere? Where do we? It's our restaurants. We're going to restaurants. We're going to, our go-to date night restaurants, our salons. I just got my hair done, why don't we ask those individuals? That's where we're getting our leads. Where we do business, where we do our business is where they should want us to do business with as well. We want to continue that relationship. Our doctors, actually my dentist is one of my customers, has been a long time customer. And, credit card processing was one of the first services. It's so easy to get them set up on. And that's why it's so, where we're doing business, just think, we're constantly swiping our credit card. We're going to these different stores, these shops, and especially during the season, that's where we're going to find our leads for potential customers. So just think, everywhere you go is a potential lead. And also something interesting, I don't know if you guys know, but recently, there's actually a new market that's been picking up, especially with COVID and people working remotely, is actually RV parks and campgrounds. So this is something that's really new for us, that, who knows, if you're going out camping or know somebody that's going camping or things like that, this is a new market that's really big. I thought that was interesting when I was preparing for today's call. And also even in Canada, some of those cannabis, merchants, that's something big for those who know people in Canada or have team members in Canada. That's another big market that, yes, Sphere is able to help with. Again, it's for those licensed, legal cannabis merchants, of course, not old buddy down the street. You know what I mean? So just know that that's also an opportunity for us. Now, I'm just gonna want to play a quick video for you guys. And not sure if everyone is aware, but Sphere actually has invested a lot of money into videos for us to help us understand how Sphere works, what is payment processing, and things like that. So on YouTube, if you actually search Sphere merchant or Sphere credit card, or ACN and Sphere, you'll see these videos pop up. And this one I thought was really interesting because what it does, it really gives us kind of that idea of what are the do's and don'ts and what's important. Because when I said this is our easiest service, you'll start to understand exactly what I mean. So here, let me hit play here.
This is Susie. Susie enjoys growing her business by working with Sphere, and she builds relationships with local business owners that she is familiar with. To help you get started, think of local businesses such as restaurants, salons, medical offices, automobile service shops, and dry cleaners. Be like Susie. This is Tom. Tom likes to take shortcuts and collect business cards from business owners that he isn't familiar with. Tom spends time prospecting with larger businesses that can't change their merchant processing instead of small local businesses in his community. Don't be like Tom. Make sure you are approaching businesses you know and making a face-to-face connection with the decision maker. Susie qualifies the leads she is submitting to Sphere and has a great relationship with all of her leads. Susie makes sure to get a recent processing statement from each of the leads she has submitted to Sphere. Be like Susie. Tom is submitting a lot of leads with the business cards he collected, but he didn't qualify the lead first. Tom doesn't submit his leads with a statement and doesn't have a relationship with the business owners. Don't be like Tom. Make sure you are qualifying your leads by building a relationship with a business owner that is open to saving money and submitting the lead with a copy of their recent processing statement. You can do this by taking a quick snapshot of each page on your phone or collecting a paper copy. Susie's merchant is expecting Sphere's phone call. Susie's merchant knows why Sphere is calling and is ready to talk about their merchant processing. That's a qualified lead. Be like Susie. Tom's merchant is not expecting a call from Sphere. Tom's merchant does not know why Sphere is calling and doesn't know who Tom is. That's not a qualified lead. Don't be like Tom. Make sure you are speaking directly with a decision maker and informing them that Sphere will talk about saving money on their merchant processing. It's easy to do business with Sphere. Just remember to approach small to medium-sized businesses, make a face-to-face connection with a decision maker, and submit the lead with a copy of their recent processing statement. Be like Susie. Submit a lead today by going to your personal website, click Payment Processing, click Shop Now, select Explore Your Options, and send us your lead.
In that video, it talked about kind of what the process is, how it works, not just, going and getting business cards for all these businesses and not having a relationship and trying to submit leads and trying to get them through. No, work with those that you have a relationship with. And that's why I say, think about the places you do business. Those are the best leads because you already have a relationship. I remember there was a training Mr. Thomas gave, a while back. This was years ago. He mentioned, I do not do business at places where they do not want to do business with me. And it's so powerful. It's like, why do you want to go and do business at a business and help them when they don't want to help you? So just think about all these different opportunities that you have from a day to day. Now I'm going to go back to the slides here. And I mentioned to you saying that, this is our easiest service. And actually, even more so, our VP of sales, Mr. Mike Kane, said it in such a beautiful way. He said, the beautiful thing with Sphere is how little we as IBOs really have to do. And again, I keep iterating, it is so easy, and I'm going to show you how in a second. But it's Mr. Mike Kane, our vice president of sales, is saying that it's little that we have to do in order to obtain a customer. Don't you think it'd be a good idea for us to explore some options with Sphere and businesses and trying to attain customers? Wouldn't that be a good idea if it's that simple? So that's really, it's just as simple and easy as 1, 2, 3. It's step one. You access the Sphere site via your personal website, where you click on Explore Your Options and send us your lead. 2, fill out the online form with as much information as possible about the business. And I want to stop here because this is really important. You actually, and this is one of those services is very unique for us, but you, as an IBO, have the ability to complete the online form for that business owner yourself. We know all of the other services. We're not allowed to enter any information. It is not allowed. We need the customer to actually submit it. But for these leads, we as IBOs can go into the website, submit the company's information, the merchant's information, as much information as possible, and we can do it on their behalf. I highly suggest the best time to do it is when you're on the phone with them. If you're on the phone with them, say, hey, do you mind if I fill out the form for you while we, just give me 10 seconds while I fill out the form? And you're basically, I'll show you the form in a second. It takes truly 30 seconds to complete the form, put in their contact information, a little bit about their business, how they accept payments, and a couple of notes, and boom, you sent off the lead. And in most cases, if that lead is submitted before 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so before 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there is a great opportunity, huge opportunity that Sphere will contact that business owner within the same business day. If it's after 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, then it'll usually be the following day. But just saying, hey, that is so powerful that we have a team of people that are going to jump on these leads, these opportunities. They're not going to let time pass, because when we need to strike when that iron is hot, we've got to strike. And so Sphere understands that they are a true partner with us, and we need to use that to our advantage. And then step 3, attach their recent credit card processing statement. So that's key for us to do that. The processing statements are absolutely important. If we can get that, it speeds up the process so much faster. It allows the SPEARs, the specialists, I just call them specialists, they're the experts in payment processing. I let the experts do the hard work. We work on the relationship. We're the relationship expert. ACN, that's us, as the IBO, but SPEAR is the payment processing expert. So let them do their thing. So give them all the information that they have to be able to do their thing. Speeds up the process. They can actually tailor the proposal to that business owner when they, as soon as that happens, because they'll have all the information they need. They'll allow them to get the best pricing, the maximum savings. And then also it leads to a faster approval process. You know, would it make sense for us to speed this process along as quickly as possible? Understanding 1, the limitations of time in our lives. 2, in limitation of times of that merchant. You know, they've got a business, they've got family, they've got things to do. So we need to strike where that iron is hot. And if we can get those things moving as fast as possible, that is very, very important for us. And just to go a step further, this is actually, little person, this is one of my favorite vehicles. They call it the G-Wagon. This is like my dream car, Mercedes G-Wagon. It is one that's on, you know, my vision, my dream board. And it is one that I will own in the future. But I want to give an example. The reason why processing statements are important, and if you're not sure what it is, it's basically like showing the business owner that this is their bill. These are all the transactions. This is the breakdown of the fees and things like that. And really what that is it's just like buying a car. It is, you know, when you buy a car, the dealer pays this wholesale price for that vehicle. So that Mercedes lot is going to have this G-Wagon sitting ready for me. And whatever dream car it is that you guys have, or even the dream car you have, hey, it's sitting on that lot waiting for you to walk up. That dealer paid a wholesale price for that vehicle. And then what you end up paying is the markup on top of that. So you're paying that wholesale plus the markup because that dealer wants to make their profit. That's just exactly what the credit card processing statement is for the business owner. It's the credit card brand fee, so that's the Visa, the MasterCard, and the American Express, whatever those fees are, that cannot change. But it also has the markup. And where, just like that dealership, whether it's the one that's in the city, whether it's on the east side, the west side, the north, south, wherever it is in your city, they all will have different markups for that vehicle. And again, just like the payment processing companies, they will all have different markups. And where SPEAR comes into play is right there in that markup. That's where they bring the business owner savings. So it's so important if we can have those processing statements ready to go when we submit that lead, or if it can't happen in that moment, submit the lead, but do the best you can to let that business owner know that the number one thing that will need to happen is they need to see the processing statement. If you're there in the restaurant, say, hey, do you mind just grabbing one real quick and I can take a quick photo of it on my phone? Boom, you have it and you can submit the lead. So just, if at all possible, make sure you have it, because that is how SPEAR is able to deliver that savings, guarantee the savings. It's just going to speed up the process. And I can tell you 9 times out of 10, the times where I did not have the processing statement within 24 hours of submitting the lead, it was a long challenge to get that customer onboarded, getting their time, showing them the value and things like that. So just really important. I'm sorry, I know that was a little bit into the details, but I want you guys to really understand why that's important. Now, what I want to do now is actually go to the ACN website and show you how easy it is to submit a lead. So I'm not sure if everyone has done this before, but let's go new share. Yep. And so when you actually go to your ACN website, you'll have the opportunity, of course, to go to services and residential and business services. So here, this is just the business services side, and you want to go to your payment processing. You can do this right in front of the business owner, right there where you are. You'll hit Shop Payment Processing Now. And here, it's just some information that we want to agree to, but here it even points out, make sure you provide details about how you accept payments. Sphere really needs to know how they're accepting payments. And again, let's say a proposal within 1 business day of lead receipt. So Sphere is really, really focused on speaking to that business owner as soon as possible, and they truly are a partner with us. So go there, and then here, send us your lead. Now, I want to stop here. So this is important. This is really, really important because I get this pushback with some of the merchants. They're like, "Whoa, what type of equipment do you have? And is it going to be like this and that?" And the best thing is that you don't have to know. You can easily go to your website, and also even walks them closer to actually submitting the lead. But on the left, you'll see send us your lead. That's what we'll go to submit the lead. But before we go there, I want to say pick a plan and sign up now. So this here, you have the opportunity, and a business owner can do this as well. The merchant can do this as well. But in here, it has all the options of, okay, let's say they accept in-person payments. Well, they can click here. And here, they have different options that they can actually shop, look at. And what this is the lowest. The reason why we can guarantee is because this is the lowest produced rates from any of the providers out there. So it's, we have this meter beat. Boom, it's already there on the website. They can see it on the website that we are meeting or beating whatever provider that they currently have. And you can select. And in here, you can actually see all of the different terminals and things like that. And some business owners want to see that. And that's fine. And we can show them that, so that's just want to show that. So you have all of this information in your storefront that, hey, what does it look like? I know I had the dentist, that example. They wanted to have this modern kind of cool type of kind of environment. So they wanted to ensure that at least the terminals were up to date and modern versus an old raggedy one or something like that. So just want to point that out. Also want to point out another thing here. On all of the websites, you'll see need help, chat, or call now. There is a Sphere specialist, technician, whatever you want to call them, ready to go to help you. So if there's any questions, they're there to help. But here I'm going to say, submit us your lead. And this is all it is. It's a little small kind of form. There's maybe 12 boxes here, 15 boxes here that you complete your IBO information. Of course, they need to know who's submitting the lead. So that's your IBO information. That takes seconds to complete. I hope you know your information. If not, I can give you mine and I can submit it on mine, but easily there. You also put in the business, the company's name, whether it's whatever restaurant, so family restaurant, you just put it in there. It's easy. Put in the contact person, because Sphere needs to know who they're contacting, what time zone they're in. That helps them to know what time to call. And even a recommendation of what is the best time to call. So this is great when, a business owner says, I'm usually good in the mornings, 8 to 10 a.m. And then, I open up my shop at 10 o'clock. Great. We'll set them up to give you a call before 10 a.m. before your day started, because we don't want to interrupt your business day. Great. And then here, just information about their payments. Do you accept credit cards? Yes or no? Well, clearly, if they're accepting credit cards, then yes, that's why we're talking to them about Sphere. How do they accept payments? They can select different options on the go, a manual key enter, they'll be able to easily answer that within seconds. How many locations do you have? That's also key. If it's a dentist or a doctor's office, maybe they have 3 locations. Again, Sphere, having that information ready to go, Sphere can start to tailor it. Any notes, if you're working with a specific person at Sphere, you can put in their name here And when it goes into their on their system, they'll be able to see it and pull it. So if you start working with someone that you like, and they're working with you, and they're also bilingual, so if you do need to put that information in here, whatever notes they are, Spanish speaking, you can put whatever notes in there, and that's good. It could be anything about, oh, there wasn't an option, for something else, or they're looking for this. I had a restaurant that wanted to have, email send out or something, sign up for the, email send out, or, things like that. So it's all kinds of different things that we can tailor in this notes. And then here, this is where, down at the bottom, where you submit the processing statement. So again, and then of course, don't forget to hit submit. And so it's just that simple. I mean, this is a very simple form just to submit a lead. So when I say it's the easiest service we have, it is the easiest service we have. All we have to do is get the merchant to say, yeah, sure, I'll be open. Let me see what you got. And this is all we do. This is all we do. Now we may have to follow up with the business, with that merchant, if they haven't, maybe they missed an email or things like that. And of course, Sphere, they'll CC us to the emails for follow-up and things like that. But it is the easiest because all we have to do is submit the lead and we're done. We're done. It's so easy. So just know that, of course, you can go into your website and play around with it, and really understand kind of what's all is there. But just wanted to show you that live in person so you can see what it looks like. So now I want to jump into some of the objections. Now I want to finish things up here pretty quickly, but this is, some of the objections I get when I start speaking to business owners. And, I'm sure many of you have heard, horror stories about how, this, I had this company and then the system went down and this and that. And I tried to switch and it took them days and I didn't have a credit card system, so I couldn't accept payment. You hear all these business owners, these merchants talk about their horror stories. But what I want to do is share some examples of a response that you can have for them. Again, feel free to take screenshots of this. This is just here for an example. So feel free to use it as an example. Miss Diane Collins, this can work in Australia as well. So, it's definitely information that we can use across the board. Miss Natasha Wang in Canada, same thing. So for all of us. So this one, I would say, you want to acknowledge that, it was frustrating. But hey, I'm very sorry to hear that, as that did not sound like it was enjoyable. What I can tell you is oftentimes when I hear such horror stories, it is because the business owner is moving from one reseller to another. Sphere, fortunately, is not a reseller. Sphere is its own payment processing company who puts that business owner at the top of the list of importance. So that's just an easy way to, hey, understand their pain, one, but then two, help them to understand, hey, we're different. We're not a reseller. Another horror story, another objection I get is, hey, I'm in contract, so you know what, we'll talk in 5 years, when I'm out of contract. Well, you can actually still get them. An example response would be, what if the savings I can provide you through my exclusive partnership with Sphere are so big that we could pay you to get out of your contract in a reasonable amount of time? And now you can enjoy that savings for the rest of the time you're with Sphere. How would that benefit you? How would that benefit your business? We can say these things in responses. Another objection is, I love my Square. I love Square. I always get this. It's the little cube, the mobile cube that everyone uses. It's easy to set up, and so many small business owners are like, "Oh, I love Square. It's cool. They take care of me." But here's where you can share the difference. Again, feel free to take a screenshot. I see you, Mr. Foster. You shooting those screenshots. But Square is a third-party payment facilitator, where we actually, Sphere processes the payment. Square, they do not process the transactions. They use a back-end processor. With Sphere, we process those transactions ourselves. Square, they have higher processing rates, but no monthly service fees. Sphere, on the other hand, has low processing rates and some service fees because we're actually doing the work, we're doing the service. And here's something also with Square, this is something really, really important when we're talking to these merchants. Honestly, if the company is transacting less and paying Square less than $80 a month or less than $3,000, in processing less than $3,000 a month in transacting, then they're probably fine with Square because where we provide savings is over that. Sphere's kind of their bread and butter. Where we're looking at is anything over processing over $3,000 a month. And then with Sphere, we can say, hey, we provide savings, more technology, better solution, real payment processing with a real payment processing statement, real customer service department, and a real direct contact that you as a business owner can contact directly. And no one else is doing this. We're providing you $100,000 of liability breach insurance. Now, I'm not going to go into details about what that means, but what all it's saying is they're covered. If there's an issue of breaching, just know that they're covered. A business owner will know what it means. And if they have more questions, say, hey, you know what, let's submit a lead. Let's get you talking to someone at Sphere, and they can answer all those questions. Don't go into details, but just wanted to throw that in there because Sphere is doing something that no one else in the industry is doing. And then another objection I get is, oh, I need an in-person. I need someone to come out and set up my equipment for me and my POS system. And, what about troubleshooting? I need someone here. Well, you know what? Here's how you can respond. First, no payment processor has feet in the field, only the resellers. No one has people in the field. So if they're looking for that, then they're looking for a reseller. Secondly, for example, let's say, and this is awesome. I love this. I love this. Let's say you signed up with Bob down the street. No offense to Bob, but you signed up with Bob down the street, and every time you have an issue, he comes on over just like you want. He pulls out a raggedy, torn up terminal out of his trunk, installs it, and you're good to go. Let's say that happens. But here's the thing, Bob doesn't work for your process. He is not an employee of that company. He is a 1099 contract for hire. This is the wild, wild west, guys. He's a gunslinger. Bob's buying his rates from whom? Do you know? No, because the payment processing statement may say Card Connect. So you as a business owner, and you can share this with them, you're paying Bob, who knows who, Card Connect, First Data, and then you. And you know what's interesting? You're actually feeding 5 people every single month off the work at your restaurant, off the work at your salon, off the work at your dentistry. How would you like to be factory direct? You got Sphere and you got you. There's no one else in the middle. How would you like that? And this is so powerful because they don't really understand that until a lot of merchants, they won't quite get it. But if you can share this story with them and help them understand this, that, hey, this is completely different than what you are. Yes, a gunslinger. Completely different than what their current setup is. Because then at that point, that business owner is like, wait, I understand markup. I'm paying all these other people. I'm paying all these middlemen. Why can't I go direct? Boom, you get them. So how important, then it becomes how important is having that one person, that gunslinger out there at your job, at your place of work, coming out there, pulling one out of the trunk, the car's beat up, got dents on the side. He's just Wild West. So this is one of the ones that it just completely, when I've shared this one, completely started to change their mindset and understanding. So again, I want to wrap things up here. I'll leave, take a couple of questions, but I just want to recap how to successfully create and maintain a portfolio of Sphere customers. It's going to be real simple, guys. Submit the lead. Submit the lead. If you have not paid attention to anything, if you were zoning out, whatever it is, the most important thing is submit the lead. Thank you, Ms. Sherry. Thank you. But submit the lead. That's key. So just remember that. So I want to finish things off with a did you know? I like to do the did you know. Yes. Did you know that Sphere will pay $500 if Sphere cannot meet or beat the customer's current processing rate? So here, it's $500. It's 200. They mentioned it this way: $250 Visa gift card for you and $250 for the business owner. But you know what? I'm going to suggest, I can't tell you how to do your business, but I would highly suggest that when you tell a business owner, you say it's $500 because you have the opportunity to still also give them that second card, the one that goes to you. Now, not going to tell you how to do your business, but I suggest say $500, give them that extra card because it's not about that $250 card to you. It shouldn't be. It's about the longevity of maintaining that customer, getting and keeping that customer, because that $250 will be paid multiple times over the 6 years, 12 years, you keep them on 18, however long they're on with you. So just think about that. It's an investment. Again, going back to one of my first training, invest in your business. No, you may not receive that $250. You can't go put it towards the new shoes or get mama a new bag, as Mr. Thomas says. But it's something that is investing in you, investing in your business, investing in your future. So as a did you know? And you know what? For my Asia Pacific specific did you know that Sphere in Asia Pacific is paying 12 months free FPOS machine rental? That's huge. That's huge. It's just money just for that company. They're paying for it. It's free for the 12 months. Boom. So again, try to throw that in there for you guys. But that's the did you know. That's all I have for tonight. Sorry I went a little bit over, but I felt that this being business, it's a business service. It needed a little more in depth. And also I wanted everyone to start changing their perspective of how to look at some of the business services. It's not as daunting or as scary as you think. Change that perspective. Go talk to that business owner, especially during these holidays. This is the time that, they've got big sales coming through. That's big sales for them, but that can also be big savings for them if they would have had your service before now. So guys, that's all I have. I'm gonna open up just for maybe one or two questions, but that's all I had for tonight. So just wanna say thank you guys.